Okay. Recording. Okay, game. Wait lang. Etong small cam na lang para kita mo yung ano. Kita mo yung Evernote. Eto, yan. Okay, okay, great. Sige, sige, yun. So, welcome Alvin, welcome everyone sa lahat ng mga kapanood ng ating recorded group coaching session and accelerator session for our Momentum and Swing Playbook. So, na-record na natin and na-release na natin yung momentum and swing playbooks natin. So, kompleto na yan. And ang kailangan na lang natin gawin is to dive deeper, actually have a conversation on how it actually works, yung thought process, yung concrete thought process with the real market environment, no? Syempre, yung mga pag-discuss ko sa inyo, in hindsight, madali lang siya kasi tapos na yung trade eh. But if you're in the trade, ano yung thought process, paano mo siya talagang i-approach, no? Like real time, paano ka magde-decide. Basically, kailangan mo ng mga mental models or to build some mental models to have a better decision-making approach. So, ayun, thank you for becoming present, no? For making time, Alvin. It really means a lot for you to become present, no? So, great work for showing up. So, comment kita dyan. So, let's start muna, no? So, basically, this group coaching session, this accelerator session, starts with the questions. Basically, dun sa mga na-encounter nyo na discussions on the playbooks, sa swing and momentum playbooks. Sige, let's start with ano yung una mong question, Alvin, no? Para ma-tackle natin.
Sanay kasi ako sa time frame na daily 4 hours, 1 hours, 15 minutes, saka 5 minutes. Or sa daily lang ba tayo yun sa program, sa mostly daily lang ba ang hanap natin ng trade idea?
More of, pwede naman on the daily. But for me, actually, if you're starting with trading the setup muna, no, like getting to know the setup, much better to start with the daily time frame muna eh. Kasi hindi siya noisy, hindi siya full of choppiness, 'di ba? The more you go down or go to the lower time frames like 15 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 minute, mas nagiging noisy yung price action, mas prone to whipsaws, etc. etc. So sa atin, dalawa yan eh. It's either we trade the daily time frame or we trade uh, the lower time frame na 1 hour or 30 minutes. Pinakamababa na yung 15 minutes. 5 minutes is a no-no. If you will be swing trading, if momentum trading, pwede 5 minute. For example, meron akong isang trade, I remember, asa na ba yun? Um, Hindi ata all yun eh. But later. So, stick muna tayo sa swing. But basically, 1 hour time frame, 15-minute time frame, 30-minute time frame. Yun yung focus natin. In looking at setups, to look for setups, and to trade, and to look for your stop losses, your target prices. Yun, it's on the daily. So for example, ito, bigay ako ng example Oli. Basically, Oli, let's start with looking at the bigger picture, no? So, discuss muna tayo ng trade. Medyo mabagal lang yung internet ko, no? May problem yung PLDT. But basically, ang ginawa natin with Oli is we bought this undercut, this bear trap, no? Of this earnings candle. So, after earnings, di ba nag-gap up siya? Gap up higher ng onte and then moved with a big momentum, bullish momentum. On the next day, it moved lower. Undercutting this earnings candle low. So if titingnan mo yung earnings candle, treat it as something like this. Parang ganyan. May high siya, may low siya, and then tignan mo yung price action afterwards. So in this case, what happened with Oli, medyo baga lang, sorry. Nag-undercut siya, nag-go below this earnings candle low, then recovered in just 4 days, 5 days. So yun yung isa sa mga criteria natin for that setup. For a post-earnings drift, a power earnings gap with an undercut, and then rally. So nag-recover above it. So in this case, sa daily time frame, kita ko na yung setup, di ba? A PEG, a power earnings gap, undercut, and rally na setup. So ang ginawa ko dito, on the lower time frame, on the 1 hour time frame, naghanap ako ng entry point. So in this case, I bought it at around 85, 84 area. So let's look at this Evernote. So medyo mabagal lang, sorry. So ito yung complete trading trail or yung complete trail, transaction trail. So binili ko siya nung June 12. I bought at 85.94, so near 86 level. So on the lower time frame ko siya in-enter. Sa 1 hour time frame, with the context na yung stops ko is slightly below this swing low, or I remember dito ata 83 level. So the next key level or next technical stop or logical stop. So sa 1 hour time frame, nag-enter tayo at 85 area. So in anticipation, no. So a combination of multiple setups. So daily time frame, power earnings gap, undercut and rally. So lower time frame, it's a KCBB eclipse. Including the extended trading hours. So broke above the 20 SMA on the 1 hour time frame. So binili ko siya at around this level. Nung na-sustain niya yung hover above the 20-day moving average, and yung upper band is uptrending or sloping upward, and your lower band is sloping downward. So nag-expand siya. So nung binili ko siya, sakto nag-rally, 'di ba? And then nag-materialize yung trade. So in just a few days, na-hit naman yung target. By around 5 days, na-hit yung unang target ko at $100. So I sold half on this round number target. So always look at the numbers, no? At the levels and numbers. So wag may disregard din yung mga $90, $100, yung mga decade round number, century round number. So in this case, since the next key level is $100 and nakita ko naman yung strong momentum, I sold half just to secure profit. So nung nag-create ng continuation pattern, I rebought my holdings, or I rebought what I've sold nung initial sell ko. So ni-rebuy ko siya with the idea na magke-create siya ng continuation. So anong pattern to? It's a box pattern, a pennant, kung ano man yung gusto mong tawagin. But basically, it's a continuation pattern na approaching the 10-day moving average, or magkikiss sila. So it's a kiss and rally na setup. Kiss and rally setup on the daily time frame. So kung titignan mo, it's a dynamic approach, no? It's a dynamic approach. More on, yung lower time frame is more on the entry, having a precise entry point. And pwede mo rin siyang gamitin on the exit points. Like, kung nakita mo na nag-resist na at $100, then why not sell some, 'di ba? Kung titingnan natin on the lower time frame, we can see a potential RSI bear div at the $100 area. So medyo mabagal lang, sorry, no. But tignan natin yung magiging chart formation niya. So nag-rally siya. Sige, go ahead. Ano 'yun?
Yun na yung isa sa mga tanong ko. Personally, sa yung higher time frame mo daily and yung execution time frame mo 1 hour.
Yeah, 1 hour.
Okay. Salamat.
Pero clear naman yung paano nag-materialize yung setup. Paano ko siya in-approach.
Oo, sir.
Yun. So, meron tayong dyan, clear approach on how we traded Oli. So, it's considered as a buy on pullback Kasi nag-pullback siya sa 10-day moving average, tong gray line natin. And then nag-resume. So, instead of buying the 10-day kiss, which is kinda risky, antay muna tayo ng clearer confirmation na confirmed support na siya and may onti ng strength coming from the bulls. 'Di ba? So, yun yung approach natin talaga. Okay. So, kahapon napabenta tayo ng majority. Nag-iwan lang tayo ng onte. So, all in all, initially on this trade, I risked around $500. Then, total realized gain is $2,100. So, realized R unit or R multiple is 4.19, which is 4 times ng ni-risk ko for this trade. So, one tranche entry, then multi-tranche exit. Pero, dynamically ko siyang in-approach, which is nag-retranche ako given na ang pinakita ng chart is may potential pa naman siya. Kahapon binenta ko siya on this MA10 snap or close below 10-day SMA line. So, invalid na yung trade idea, 'di ba? Na MA10 kiss and rally. Okay? Sige, next question, Alvin. Go ahead.
Di ba kinukombine mo naman yung swing momentum?
Oh, usually combine siya.
Ang tanong ko lang paano yung sa tips lang about tranching. Yung proseso mo, yung sa tranche.
Okay, actually more since super liquid ng US market, hindi ko naman hindi ko siya i-approach ng multi-tranche like for example, goal ko bumili ng 100 shares dito at 85. Initially $100 yung let's say 100 shares lang yung gusto kong bilhin. Unlike sa PSE na kailangan 20 shares bago ko ma-complete yung 100 shares para hindi ko matulak yung price. Dito one tranche entry lang. But more on sa exits part ka nag-scale out. Since swing and momentum is focused on selling on strength near your targets or once it approaches some resistance on your perceived resistances. So for example dito, nag-rally siya, nag-gap up siya above $91. So ito yung initial resistance Ito yung initial resistance na tinitingnan ko. But it got invalidated and continued to rally. So something to disregard na tong $90 mark or the $90 level. Next is the $100 level. Which is the next round number. So doon ako naganap ng exit and then I slowly tranched out. So ganun. With regards naman doon sa paano ako mag tranche, like multiple setups, no? Tama ba? Like swing and momentum.
Oh, sir,
Correct?
swing momentum. Para sabihin natin, sa swing, yung unang tranche, saka sa momentum, yung second tranche. Parang ganun.
Okay, sige. Nice question. I think a good example for this is Chewy. Hold on. Wait lang. Medyo mabagal lang talaga.
I mean, yung momentum, yung nag-swing, tapos yung momentum, pag-break na nung parang box na nangyari.
Okay, sige. Actually ako, ang ginagawa ko, kung swing lang muna eh. Tapos kung magpakita ng bagong setup, pag magpakita ng another setup, doon na lang ako nagdadagdag eh. So kunyari ito, Chewy. Actually pwedeng yan eh, momentum at saka swing play. So initially, ang ginawa ko dito sa Chewy, I bought the dip dito sa KC10. So nung nag-create ng channel dito, binili ko yung before the breakout of the resistance trend line sa 1 hour time frame. Tapos nung nag-coil dito sa 26, in some portfolio nagdagdag ako ng onte. So next tranche siya. Wait lang Ito. Clean up natin to. Medyo magulo yung gawin natin regular trading hours na lang para hindi magulo yung chart, no? So ito 'yon. Ito yung nakita kong channel pullback sa 10-day moving average KC10. Given na meron tayong channel dito, so I entered at around $23. So it's considered as a swing trade. Parang momentum and swing trade na rin siya kasi you bought the dip. But I aggressively bought the breakout of this channel. So ano siya? So mahirap kasing strictly i-classify siya swing or momentum. Kasi yung swing is actually, momentum is actually a variation of swing for me. More on ganun ko siya in-interpret. So in this case, kunwari dito na lang, no? So dalawang tranche yung ginawa ko on my other portfolio. I bought this breakout, actually before the breakout of this RTL, of this channel. So nung nag-rally up siya, nakita ko on the 1 hour time frame, nag-create ulit ng flag or parang wedge or kung ano man gusto mong tawagin dyan. But basically, on the 1 hour time frame, it created this consolidation. So nag-tranche ako ng dalawang tranches siya. Initial tranche was at 23, then my next tranche was around 25.60, 25.50. 'Di ba? So dalawang tranche. Pero ang naging position sizing ko dito is based on my buy at this area. So let's say for example sake na lang, no, 100 shares ang binili ko diyan. Dapat yung bibilin mo dito on the next setup, which is a momentum setup considering na nagke-create ng continuation pattern or of some sort, then 100 shares lang din yung bibilin natin. Not greater than the initial quantity dito. Ang purpose kasi nun, para yung magiging average price mo is at the midpoint of the two buy areas. 'Di ba? So equal lang siya, halos equal. So let's say parang ang lumalabas, ang worst case mo na is a break-even stop. So break-even mo is at 24, 'di ba? So let's say hindi mag-materialize ang trade. At least they're at break-even, 'di ba? You're at break-even. Pero once it moves higher, if it moves higher, malaki yung bigay sa'yo na impact. Malaking impact niya on your portfolio. So ganon. Ang sa akin, no, sige, Alvin, sa akin ang usual practice ko, I buy the pullback. Yun yung sequence ko eh. I buy the pullback. I add on the continuation, lower time frame continuation, but I add in small tranches. And I don't add when it's approaching a resistance area. A resistance area in which, for example, in this case, ang measured target ko for Chewy is based on this swing low ng earnings candle reaction papunta dito sa swing high. So dalawa yung ano natin, dalawa yung take profit area, 'di ba? O yung 1618 which is at 27.50 and then the $30 area. So dalawang take profit area, no. So in this case, let's say tong continuation pattern nangyari dito sa $28. Para ko ba siya kunin? Medyo alanganin na kasi nandun ka na sa take profit area, 'di ba? Ang best approach or best action mo or course of action is to tranche out, scale out, benta ka ng onte so that you won't be selling on weakness. So in this case, what I've done, dalawang tranche, isang swing, buy and pullback, and then another momentum. So dalawa, hybrid. Clear?
Yes, sir. Clear naman. Clear, sir.
Mahirap kasi yung bibili ka ng momentum tapos bibili ka ng isang pullback na setup. Kasi ang goal ng momentum, Alvin, is to sell as soon as possible. To sell as soon as possible.
Most of the time, nauuna yung swing. Nasaan kasi yung, hindi ko makita yung annotation dito. Sa, di ba, magpo-pullback. Tapos doon, pag
Okay.
yung kasi mahanap yung annotation. Basta nag-pullback, doon ako maghanap ng swing. Tapos pag nag-break yung, parang pullback na box, doon na yung momentum. Parang ganun lang. Parang ganun lang, yung tranching ko.
Pero is it
Pero hindi ako yung momentum. Tapos nagpo-pullback, maghanap ako ng hindi. Wala akong ganun na
okay, good yun, maganda yun. Start with buying at the support. Kumbaga, may angkla ka eh. Imagine mo siya parang barko. tapos ang goal mo is mangisda, 'di ba? At least may anchor ka, hindi ka lalayo dun sa area mo, 'di ba? Hindi ka lalayo dun sa area mo. Nakabili ka at the confirm support, and then on the way up, pag may nakita kang mga momentum setup na tipong tight consolidations, pwede ka magdagdag. Pwede ka magdagdag. Okay?
Pag nagtatransya ka, sir, isang ano lang naman, no? Nag-iisang cutloss ka naman lang.
O
Ah,
ang magiging next cut ko nun, Alvin, is a break-even stop or at least
oh,
1 hour. 1 hour unit, 2 hour unit stop. So ito, one
okay.
example, hood. Ito, pakita ko sa'yo. This is my current trade. A buy on pullback trade. And then I'm planning to add on the way up kasi I believe na may potential siya. Bakit may potential? Let's look at the bigger picture. Let's look at the bigger picture. Let's look at Hood's accumulation structure. So, di ba ang ganda ng ano niya? Accumulation niya. And then may IPO. Coming from IPO, nag-rally. Ito yung first IPO rally. Then nag-crash siya. Nag-markdown, nag-create ng big accumulation. More than 2 years. Around 2 years yung consolidation structure na yan, yung accumulation na yan. So let's say, ito yung ano natin, yung measured targets natin. So right now, it's at the 1618 level. Initially, it resisted at the $20 area, yung 1618. Galing, 'di ba? Parang magic. Pero these are just psychological areas of profit taking. Yung mga nag-accumulate at this area, nagtitake profit dyan. So nag-dip muna sa 50-day moving average and then nag-create ng rally ulit. Right now, it's creating this nice pullback toward the 20-day moving average. 'Di ba? Parang kinis niya yung 20-day or it undercutted and then reclaimed the 20-day moving average, tong green line na yan. So, imbes na bilhin ko yung undercut, ang ginawa ko, I bought the lower time frame coil. Para din siyang yung trade kanina na pinakita ko with Oli, na nag-undercut muna and then nag-coil, then nag-rally siya. So, eto, Hood. It's consolidating, it's creating this coil. So, at the same time, on the lower time frame, di ba? On the 1 hour time frame, ano yung nakikita natin dito, Alvin? RSI bull div, di ba?
Divergence. Parang ganun.
Oh, an RSI divergence, a positive RSI divergence. So, on the 1 hour time frame, you have that divergence, a positive divergence, a bullish divergence. On the higher time frame and daily time frame mo, it's at the support level. So, ano yung sinasabi nun sa'yo? Somewhat
Ah,
valid support
yung
na siya,
ano,
di ba?
oh,
Yun, somewhat
nakikita
valid
na ng
support
ano,
na siya.
nagpapakita ng interest sa
Yun. Nagpapakita na ng buying interest and buying pressure. So, nung nag-counter rally siya, it recovered above the 50-day 50 SMA line sa 1 hour time frame. Pero sa daily time frame, 'di ba? We can see na it's above the 20, it's above the 50, it's above the 100-day moving average. So sa 1 hour time frame, during this period nung nagpo-form yung RSI bull div, is this a valid entry point? Hindi pa. Kasi it's not yet above the 100 SMA line at the 1 hour time frame. So right now, nung nag-hover na siya above the 50, 100, 20, and then 10 SMA line, doon na ako nag-tranche. Doon na ako bumili. Kasi aligned na yung higher time frame mo, aligned na rin yung lower time frame mo. At the same time, you have this square root structure. Square root reversal or square root continuation pattern, whatever you want to call it. But it's a sign of initial weakness, recovered strength, then reconsolidation. Yun yung price action context niya. Right now, dalawa lang yun eh. It's either it explodes higher or moves lower. So ang ginawa ko diyan, I entered at this $23 area. Then my stops is at 22.20. So logical stops na siya, 'di ba, sa lower time frame. So yun yung advantage din, Alvin, no, na when entering at the lower time frame, kita mo yung immediate structure when it's gonna be invalidated or kung saan may invalidate yung idea. So, mabalik lang tayo dun sa topic na or yung sa question mo. So, paano ako magta-tranche on the way up? Paano magta-tranche on the way up? Since may next target area tayo on the daily time frame, which is around dito sa 27, 28 area, malayo pa siya actually. Tipong 20%. So it's a 20% move. So may idea is tranche, may initial tranche is a swing play, and then on the way up at the middle point near my targets and then my entry point, I'm gonna add on the next setups I'm gonna see at the lower time frame, at the 1 hour time frame. So potentially dalawa yan eh. It's either it's gonna rally, it's gonna consolidate, it's gonna tighten like a box, or it's gonna create another wedge or pullback, 'di ba? So yun yung next setup I'm looking at. Kumbaga, starting with the end in mind, with the idea na potentially maabot niya yung maabot niya tong 2.0 target, which is 27, and then taking advantage of the next setup. So it's either you're just gonna play the whole swing, play the whole pullback swing. Hindi mo na mahuli yung momentum setup na makikita mo on the lower time frame. Okay na rin yun. Kumita ka na dun. But since ang goal mo is to capture the 20% move, as much as possible, trade the next momentum setup you're gonna see on the lower time frame. Okay?
Okay, sir. Okay.
Depende siya eh on your proficiency on the setup. Sa akin kasi very acclimated na ako on this sequence of setup. Eto pakita ko sa'yo. So recently nag-audit ako on my swing portfolio. So around total of around 15, 13 trades lang for the month of May and June. So super onting trades. Based on our pullback trades. Karamihan nun mga pullback trades. And lumabas, ito yung statistics ko. Total of 9 trades, 3 losses, giving me a win rate or accuracy of 66.67%. So, mataas yung win rate niya, okay. Pero ang importante dito, Alvin, is yung average R unit realized or yung average R unit na nakukuha mo on each trade, yung edge mo. So generally, and makikita natin total PNL is a positive PNL. Positive PNL. Actually, hindi ko pa na-compute yung average R unit per trade. But ang tansya ko is around 3.0, 4.0 yung average R unit realized. So malaki yung edge niya for me kasi mataas yung conviction ko on pullback plays. May tamang process, may tamang sequence. May tamang sequence siya. Ganun. So may times din, no Alvin, meron din akong slippage. So sa VST, I experienced this big slippage due to a gap down. So $849. So discuss natin 'yan later on. Tapusin muna natin yung questions mo. Then let's proceed with the trade dissections on the pullback plays. So highlight natin yung mga pullback setups. Kasi I believe it's the low-hanging fruit for everyone. Yung mga momentum plays kasi, Alvin, I think, mahihirapan kayo to execute it. It's prone to whipsaws. And kailangan mabilis ka magbenta eh. Unless yun yung character mo, no? Ano ba yung character mo sa trader? Mabilis ka ba mag-take profit? Hindi ka ba nahihirapan slice ng profits? Or ikaw yung tipong trader na gusto mo umangat pa siya ng umangat? Tipong parang trend follower?
Sir, swing momentum kasi ako eh. more on short term ako. Tapos compound ng i-compound.
So, mas madali sa'yo mag-sell on rally, sell on strength.
Oo, sir.
Okay, great. Okay, sige. May questions ka pa, Alvin?
Yun lang yata sa technique. Ay, ito. Di ba, yung swing and momentum, hinahanap lang naman natin sa markup. Wala naman, hindi naman natin hinahanap yun, let's say, sa accumulation stage for range trade.
For swing, meron. May mga setups tayo for early stage accumulation. Pwede natin tignan to ha. Ito.
Okay, sir. Gets, sir. Gets.
Meron naman nandito sa mga playbooks natin. Super dami nating yung swing kasi all markets eh. 'Di ba yun yung parang main pitching point ko or yun yung main pitch ko on bakit dapat tayo mag-focus on swing. Kasi all market phase siya.
I mean, sir, for range trade lang talagang idea. Or for talaga nagpo-position lang tayo sa accumulation, di ba?
May mga din tayo, swing plays din tayo on ranging markets. Wait lang ito. Pakita natin yung schematic natin. Oh my God, sobrang bagal ng internet. Eto, yan. Kita mo naman to, no? Yan. So basically, yung mga swing plays, Alvin, pwedeng i-trade yung mga yung mga under accumulation. So kunyari, nag-secondary test, 'di ba Wyckoff theory. Under accumulation phases, under reaccumulation phases, multiple swings happens. And panigurado dyan, magkaroon niya ng establishment of support levels. So in this case, for example, early stage accumulation. So nag-range pa lang siya. Wala pa siyang definite trend. So pwede tayo mag-buy on support at these levels. So ano yung mga setups na hanapin natin dyan sa lower time frame? Mga RSI bull div, yung may lower low in price or same levels of low. At the same time, sa RSI, you have that higher low in RSI. Higher low in RSI. So once makita mo yun on the lower time frame, usually ang makikita mong pattern dyan, square root pattern. So kunwari, ito yung price. Sa lower time frame, mag-create yan ng ganyan. Yung parang coil before the breakout. The counter rally toward the resistance level. So ganun. Ganun yung usual price action na nakikita ko on secondary tests.
So nag-trade ka, sir, ng support, buy on support, sell in resistance for range trade? Hindi naman.
Tina-trade ko siya pag wala ng choice.
Okay. Gets ko na, sir. For ano lang siya, parang tranche lang sa accumulation. Tapos hanap na lang sa markup. Gets ko.
Oo, pwede. Pwede yun. I remember, ginagawa ko siya nung 2022. Nung bear market. Kasi wala ka nang wala ka nang makitang setup na tulad yung nakikita natin ngayon, yung yung malinis na pullback tapos nag-rally. Tapos nasa markup phase. Wala. As in, select few. Ang tanda ko ng 2022, Alvin, ito lang yung lumabas na under markup. Eli Lilly lang. Ng 2022. Yan lang. Yung name lang na yan. Wait lang, pakita ko sa iyo yung chart. So, nagkikreate siya ng mga tight coils. So, yan na, daily time frame. Punta tayo 2022. Oh God, sobrang bagal. Yan, 2022, start of the, bear market yan. Start of the bear market. Ito lang yung nag-dip sa 50-day, nag-rally ulit, pero sell on resistance lang din. So I remember yung mga trades ko dito, buy on support sa 50-day, then sell on resistance on the swing high. Yan. So swing high, sell, and then wait for another dip, then you sell again. Although, eto, slightly choppy, pero if you're gonna trend follow this, ang laki. Ang laki ng opportunity na ibibigay sa'yo. Yun yung pagkakatanda ko, no? Nung 2022. So, it's a ranging market. So, yan yung mga setups na pwede mong hanapin. Yan yung mga setups na pwede mong hanapin. So, meron naman tayong mga examples dyan. Like, saan ba yun? So, madami tayong ano dito eh. Yan, yung mga swing play, number 3A, yung distribution, turn reaccumulation, Wyckoff springs at highs. So, may mga setups tayo na ganito eh. Yung nagwa-Wyckoff spring at the highs, lakas ng mga setup na ganyan, Alvin. Yung mga bear traps at 52-week highs at reaccumulation structures, ang ganda ng mga setup na ganyan. Yung tipong coming from a strong rally, nag-create ng ganyan, tapos nag-move lower, nag-undercut, nag-reclaim. Usually, nag-create na ng mga parabolic moves or it's transitioning to a markup phase. Again. So, range trades
Okay, sir.
only when no choice. Sa akin yun sa akin lang yun. Pero if kaya mo mag-create ng edge or alpha on range trading, then why not? Kasi yung ginagawa natin dito, Alvin, is not spoon feeding yung ano yung dapat yung gawin eh. Kasi hindi naman tayo para-parehas. Kung ano yung nag-work sa akin, might not work for you. Pero ang ginawa natin dito is we presented multiple plays na pwede nyong hanapan ng parang kung saan kayo nag-ano, nag, kung ano yung setup yung nag-resonate sa inyo. Kung anong setup yung nag-resonate sa inyo. Sa akin more on bear traps, yung mga trip ko, yung mga undercut and reclaims. Yun yung doon ako may edge, mga pullbacks, ganun. May slighter edge ako on momentum setups. Like yun yung Class B setups ko. Class A setup is a buy and pullback. Class B setup, mga momentum plays. On earnings not when random lang. And then, lastly, in the US market, position plays is at the bottom of my list right now. Kasi ang gusto ko is to compound the money as soon as possible. When trading position plays, matagal. Matutulog yung pera mo. Tutulog yung pera mo. Pero, malaki din naman yung upside niya. It's more of, a matter na kung saan ka komportable. Sa PSE dati, I remember, position trader ako sa PSE. Tapos nung na-experience ko yung super choppy na market, tapos ang hirap pa makalabas pag super laki na ng fund mo. So, nag-transition ako to US and then nabigyan ako ng freedom to trade swing and momentum setups again. Kasi yung position play for me in the PSE was a forced adaptation for me to trade bigger funds. Forced adaptation yun siya for me. So nahirapan ako nung time na yun. Pero malaki din naman yung effect niya in my portfolio. It's more of how you handle yung paano ako mag-adapt. So sa ngayon,
Okay, sir.
ang kailangan mong gawin, kailangan natin gawin sa lahat ng mga panood nito is to specialize on one setup alone muna. One setup muna. It's either mga moves after post earnings, pwedeng ganun, or mga pullbacks after earnings and during transitions to markup phases. Pwedeng doon ka mag-focus.
Okay, sir. Bihira lang naman ako, sir, bihira lang naman ako yung range trade. Ginagawa ko lang yan kung ewan ko lang kung familiar ka, sir, sa VA. Volatility area. Kunyari, nag-resistance, tapos ibinagsak ng isaw, dalawa,
Malakas.
kandila lang, pa-support. Naghahanap ako doon ng parang
Lower time frame. Pero
Ganun
naghanap ka
lang
ng lower
sir,
time frame
advice
setup.
ko.
Pero
Yun
naghanap
pa
ka
rin
ng
yung
lower...
yung parang,
Sige, ikaw muna.
oo, sir. Oo, sir.
Ayun.
Pero yun lang naman ang yung parang idea ko sa range, sir. Yung parang ibinagsak ng parang too fast, too soon, parang ganun.
ano siya, you can also treat it as a swing play. Kasi ang swing play kasi, Alvin, ano more on mean reversion yung characteristic niya. Fast move na high volatility. Tapos, it's either mean reverting back to the moving average or it's an overstretched move with respect to a mean. So, dun sa sinasabi mo, parang ganito. Lakas ng move pataas and then nag-crash pababa. Parang ganun. 'Di ba? Parang siyang
Parang
range
ganun.
trade. Maganda rin yung mga ganun actually. Dati, ang ginagawa ko siya for crypto scalps. More on mga long scalps. Kailangan maghanap ka muna ng daily time frame range. So, kunyari, markup phase yung coin. Tapos nagko-consolidate sa daily time frame. Sa 1 hour time frame, 15-minute time frame, I look for tests on the support level on the daily time frame. So, kung magde-drill down tayo sa lower time frame, kunwari ito yung daily time frame, 'di ba? Ito yung daily time frame. Ito yung lower time frame. Makikita mo parang nag-range lang siya, eh, 'di ba? So, ginagawa ko ay buy on support, sell on resistance, tapos scalp ko lang siya until I get my quota. Ganun. Pero super low, so super light lang nung dollar risk or yung percent risk relative to the portfolio. Tipong 0.25, 0.5% risk on each trade. Hindi siya yung tipong 1%, 2%. So, binabawi ko sa volume, sa quantity. Yun yung dati. Pero, it's a high effort, low reward na na trade eh. Yun lang yung sa akin. Ang gusto ko talaga yung low hanging fruit. Pwede ko siyang sakyan 5 to 10 days. Max now 15 days. 'Di ba? So kita naman sa stats dito 'di ba? Tingnan mo to, Alvin. Average of around 5 days, 7 days lang siya. Actually 6.33 trades. 6.33 trading days yung average holding days lang niya. No? For this pullback setups or pullback plays. So at the same time kung makikita mo how I journal my trades. Take note ko din, is it actively managed? Yung tipong, do I move my stops? Nung nag-rally ba, did I move my stops to break even? When rallying, am I tranching out? Am I scaling out? If yes, then I'm actively managing it. If not, yung tipong nag-set lang ako ng bracket orders, may stop loss ako, may targets ako, then it's not actively managed. So may mga trades ako na not actively managed, yung tipong na-hit yung targets, na-hit yung mga stops with no intervention. So ayun, I take consider of it as well. Pati yung mga ganyan, sold in tranches, anong setup family. Actually may mga next columns pa yan. Yung pullback ba is at the MA50, is the pullback at MA20. So kina-quantify ko siya. Quantify. Para may malaki kang data on your setups. So once na makita mo kasi yung data, alam mo na yung mga setups na iiwasan mo eh. Iiwasan mo. And anong mga setups yung pagpo-focusan mo? Yung talagang magpo-focus far ka. Parang ganun.
Okay, sir. Okay. Yun lang naman sir ang question ko about technicals.
Okay.
Time frame saka tranching.
Sige. Thank you Alvin for your questions. So, to kwento ko lang one of my missed trades, Avgo. So, ano yung setup na to? It's a peg, undercut, and rally. It's a setup of mine na I'm looking at the earnings candle low, and I look for an undercut below it and then reclaim. So, parang yung Oli na setup na pinakita ko, tanda mo yung kanina. 'Di ba? So, kaparehas na, although not too exact, nakaparehas. So, si Oli kanina, nag-rally, but on the next day, it got faded. Ito naman, on earnings, nag-gap up, nag-move higher for 3 days, and then got faded. So, ang laki ng lakas ng selling action even breaking below this earnings candle low. But a few days later, it reclaimed this earnings candle low. So yung dating support serving as resistance, it got invalidated. So right now, parang naging labas sa atin dyan is winip lang yung mga tao, winipso lang, and then right now it's bound to move higher again. So alam mo naman yung post-earnings drift na phenomenon, 'di ba? Kung ano yung initial move, on earnings, in a few weeks, in a few months, ganun din yung gagawin niya. It's gonna chop sometimes or continue as soon as possible. It actually depends. So in this case, since nag-gap up siya, may signs of bullishness talaga siya from the earnings reaction. So 10% gap up, nag-move higher, moved lower. Right now reclaiming this 10-day moving average and right now about to create another momentum rally. So sa akin, if nahuli ko lang tong 1650, kahapon di na-hit yung limit order ko. So basically, sell on 1.8k tayo or 1.9k, which is the next semi-round number area. So that's Avgo. An undercut and rally setup. Considering this as a pullback setup as well. So hindi naman ba complex yung gantong setup or clear naman paano siya hanapin? Alvin.
Di sir.
So very clear siya for me. Madali siyang hanapin kasi may play finder tayo.
Hindi.
Oh, nasa daily, no? Kita mo kagad. So hanapin mo lang dyan yung mga stocks na nag-release ng earnings 30 days ago. Tapos ano yung ginagawa niya. Titignan mo lang isa-isa. So recently, nag-scan tayo. So ang dami natin nakitang setups. Ito mga momentum setups to, Alvin. Bank of America creating this box pattern. Buy and breakout right now moving higher. So importante dito yung $40 area. Na nag-hover siya near the $40 area. So gets mo yung idea na if it's coiling near a round number, there is a high probability na if it breaks above that round number area, it's gonna continue higher. So ito, one setup, Bank of America. Next, Goldman Sachs. For Goldman Sachs, I remember it's a pullback setup or a semi-base, a basing pattern. Diba? So Goldman Sachs, bigger picture at all-time high. And right now, parang nag-pullback din siya. Considering, you can also consider this as a pullback setup. But mas clear na box pattern siya or kung ano man gusto mong tawagin dyan. Pero ang bottom line dyan is nagko-consolidate, diba? Tama. So, momentum setup, pwedeng buy on breakout ka or buy on anticipation and then widen your cut na lang or tighten your stop, tighten your cut. It actually depends on how you approach the trade. So, another setup, PGR. Diba? Pasok to sa momentum setups natin. Diba? Remember, it's a momentum setup number 2 na nagkikreate ng continuation pattern. Nagkikreate ng continuation pattern at markup phases. Diba? Tama? So, that's PGR. Madami. May access ka na ba nito? Netong list natin? Or wala pa?
Anong list, sir?
Ayan, yan. Puntahan mo yung chat natin. So, pwede mong tignan yan, isa-isa. Actually, nakashare yan sa Discord natin, yung watchlist na yan.
Sir.
So,
sir.
Every other day, in-update natin yan. So, we look for setups with potential. Tapos, naka-classify lang yan into...
Di ba makikita yun sa Excel? Yung sa Excel?
Excel. Di ko lang sure pero ang alam ko pwedeng i-export.
Sige.
Do-double check ko. Pero, ang alam ko hindi siya exportable. Hindi siya na-export. So, kailangan mo tignan talaga yung watchlist. and then i-import mo siya. So, ang ginagawa ko diyan kadalasan, kinaka-paste ko lang to another watch list. Ayan. So, yan yung mga
Okay,
names.
sir. Okay.
So, mapapansin mo naka-classify yan into multiple setups. So, bases and coils. So, considered as a momentum setup yan. Bases and coils. Undercut and Wyckoff spring is a pullback setup. Considering it also as a momentum setup na faded. Actually depends on how you will interpret it. Pero ano siya, undercut on the moving average or a base pattern. Medyo mabagal lang. Mabagal din ba yung ano mo, trading view mo? Recently, parang na-experience ko, super bagal niya eh.
Hindi naman masyado, sir.
Hindi naman masyado, okay. Kailangan ko ata i-reload to. So, importante na naka-classify siya. So, a part of our coaching session is yung proseso of watchlisting. Kaya ako din to pinakita sa'yo and sa inyo. We have a right process on how to watchlist. So, first, ano ba yung mga setup na focus mo? Ano ba yung mga setup na trip mo talaga? Yung kaya mong i-execute. Then, you look for those setups by screening using your screeners, itong ano natin, play finder natin, and then classify them sa watchlist mo, sa stock list mo, into those setups or yung mga potential emerging setups. So, kunyari, mga pullbacks sa 20, 50-day moving average, mga power earnings gap play, post-earnings stiff plays, IPO plays, and then etc. etc. It actually depends on how you will segregate or section them. But for me, ito yung ginagawa ko. I focus on these types of plays, on these types of setups. So, yan. For example, undercut and Wyckoff spring. So, ano ba yung undercut dito? Yung undercut dito is this support level, this 20-day moving average. So, it undercutted the 20-day moving average, hovered above the 20-day moving average near the resistance level. So, it's a potential setup or momentum setup na pwede mag-materialize. So, kailangan na lang natin makita is a bullish candle close above $23 or $23 level. So, pwede mong i-widen yung stops mo at 22. It actually depends on you. Pero yan yung nakikita natin with ASC. So, another thing, pag nakita mo na yung setup, mag-set ka na ng alerts. Just pindutin mo yung Alt-A, then click greater than. Mga ganyan. It actually depends on how you will put the alert, but bottom line is create an alert on the setup you are looking at. Ganun. So, another example, Schwab. Medyo mabagal lang. Yan. So, ano siya? Undercut the 50-day moving average. So, break below 20, break below 50. Right now, about to recover above the 50-day moving average. So, Schwab is a finance name. Near all-time high din, I think. Medyo mabagal lang mag-load. But, actually, hindi pala near all-time high. Pero near 52-week high. So, ang nakikita natin dito is a square root pattern. And this undercut setup. So, a sharp move lower, rallied, assume that's rally, counter rallied, now creating this continuation pattern. So, pwedeng buy on breakout ka, 74, 50, 75, then sell on rally lang din at the next resistance level. So, despite it being an undercut setup, you can treat it as a momentum setup. Basta, ang goal kasi sa momentum, Alvin, is to sell on the next 5 to 7 day momentum. So, kunyari, nag-rally na siya, 3 day, 4 day, 5 day, selling on the way up ka na eh. Selling on the way up. Yun yung kinaibahan with swing na antayin mo pa on your targets, Well, actually, it depends. No? Pero sa akin, if strict ako to trade it with a momentum objective, on the way up, I'm tranche selling. Slicing on the way up. Kahit na tipong lumiit yung reward risk mo to 3 to 1, 2 to 1, doesn't matter. Importante, on the way up, you are protected. Worst case scenario mo is a super small gain, di ba? Is a super small gain. Do it for the next 10 trades, for the next 20 trades with a high win rate. I believe na mako-compound mo yung pera mo. Tama? So in terms of screening, wala ka namang question? Like, clear naman?
Clear, sir, clear.
Madali naman siya
Yan yung,
no?
sir, yan yung sinasabi ko kanina. Yung spreadsheet. Yung pinakita mo kaninang website.
Oh, ito, tama?
Ay, di ba na makikita yan dyan?
Oo. Yung ano natin,
nasa Discord.
Yung stock list?
Tumitingin eh.
Sa
Okay.
BTP 50 natin. Ito.
Kasi ako madalas tumitingin. Sir.
Pwede. Nag-update din naman yan.
Okay, sir.
Pero yung...
Nasagot mo na rin naman, sir, yung ano? Nasagot mo na rin naman, sir, yung next kong question, yung parang sa trading process mo. Nasagot mo na rin naman dun sa trading walkthrough kung paano yung alert, ganun, parang ganyan.
Oo, tama.
Kaya no question.
Okay, great. Etong ano natin, bibigay ko to sa inyo itong journal na to para ma-dissect niyo yung paano ko ina-approach yung trade. Pero gusto ko din actually, gusto mo ba may willing ka ba to extend around 15 to 20 minutes? Discuss natin yung step by step end-to-end process for these setups.
Sir. Okay lang sa akin, sir.
Sige. Sige, let's start with Modin. A 50-day MA pullback, an undercut, tapos coil. So, wait lang open ko lang yung Epic Pen para ma-annotate natin. Yan. So, kita naman yung chart. So, isa lang yung entry point ko dito nung around May something. So, I entered on this coil. So, it's a pullback setup, a channel pullback, a pullback toward the 50-day moving average. Actually, if titignan mo in terms of Bollinger Band structure, BB50, di naman niya mag-undercut Di naman siya mag-undercut since range siya. So, dito, nakita natin nag-undercut sa 50-day, nireclaim yung 50-day, nag-rally, and breakout dito sa RTL line natin or resistance trend line in this channel. After it broke above this resistance trend line, nag-create siya ng coil. So, on the daily time frame, it's a clear coil. On the lower time frame, mas clear siya. So, nag-enter ako at this level. Stops ko medyo tight. Then, multiple sells yung ginawa ko. Initially, ang target ko talaga is at the 124 level, 120. So, planned reward risk is a 9.0 is to 1 reward risk. So, ang idea ko was, kung gaano kalaki yung swing na yan, most likely, ganun din yung ilalaki. Ganun din kalaki yung move niya. Yung move niya afterwards. Pero ang nangyari, Alvin, in reality, hindi naman na-reach yung target pa minsan So, dapat prepared ka to sell on strength near resistance level. So, nagbenta tayo dito since we saw some intraday fades or intraday weakness. Kaya tayo nagbenta initially at this area at the 104 and then sold again on the next red candle. So, it's a bearish candle. And then lastly, I sold at the 10-day moving average. The close below the 10-day moving average. So, tatlong sell, isang buy. But ang lumabas is a 1.9:1 reward risk ratio na trade. So for me, for a short 10 trading day trade, I think okay naman na siya. Afterwards, nung nag-sell on snap of 10-day SMA ako, nag-chop na lang siya. Nag-chop na lang si Modin. So that's one of the setups. That's one of the setups. So next, Eli Lilly. Eto. You can consider it as a momentum setup. Mukhang momentum setup siya. Pwede ring swing setup, no? So ano, ito yung mga transaction natin. May 31 and then June 10. So a short 10-day trade lang siya. 10-day trade lang siya. So my entry point was dito sa coil after this reaccumulation base breakout. So alam mo na yan, 'di ba? Nag-reaccumulate, nag-breakout with big volume, Then afterwards, anong ginawa niya? Nag-create siya ng coil. So nag-buy on breakout tayo, or I remember I bought in anticipation with a stops slightly below this previous candle low. So it's a tight stop. So on the lower time frame, mas makikita mo yung yung logic behind the stop loss. So afterwards, in just a few days, it moved higher, reaching my 1618 target. So 1618 target is based on this reaccumulation structure. So sold all kagad on the 1618 target. Although it moved higher, ang main objective ko lang naman dito is to just trade the continuation upward, or upward continuation. So basically, it's a pullback play toward the 10-day moving average. So nag-ano siya, kinisent 10-day, then proceeded to rally. So that's Eli Lilly. Next, Chewy. So na-discuss ko na yan. Actually, dalawang trades to, Alvin. Initially, it's a momentum play. Makikita natin ito, yung power earnings gap play. So after earnings, gapped higher, moved higher, ended with a green candle. After a few days, it created this continuation pattern. So ito yung unang setup na tinrade ko. It's considered as a momentum setup. So ang nangyari lang dito sa trade na to, after a few days, I failed to sell on strength. Ang nangyari, it went sideways and sold at break-even or near break-even. So realized PNL of negative $100. My initial risk or dollar risk is a $500 risk. So it's a small loss. So the whole duration for the first trade is 8 bars. So the next setup, as I've discussed, is a pullback toward the 20-day moving average or 10-day moving average. Then we bought that channel breakout and then sold in multiple tranches. So I sold initially dito. I remember napakita ko yung selling transaction ko in the swing module or swing playbook. So we sold half dito nung araw na to. So around after 6 days, we already sold our holdings, yung majority of our holdings. So sell on strength. Tapos on the way down, binenta natin on the snap of the 10-day moving average. So ito yung huli kong tranche, nung nag-close below the 10-day moving average. Although I think for me medyo subpar execution siya. Kasi I believe na dapat dito pa lang sa candle na to, I already sold all. Kasi it's considered as a bearish candle close below the 10-day moving average. So total PNL in the trade is 1.6k. May dollar risk for the trade is around $300, $500. So ginawa ko na sa upper range, $500. So giving me this realized R unit of 3.4:1 in just 9 days. Okay, so that's Chewy. Ito yung transaction trail natin. So you can dissect this. You can study the transaction para makita mo din yung thought process, no? So I sold this recently lang din. Actually 2 days ago. 0702. So next, Celestica. Considering this as a loss and medyo bad trade siya for me. So for Celestica, For Celestica, I bought it nung June 13, sold it nung June 21. So, a short duration lang naman siya, 5 trading days. So, ang ginawa lang natin dito na error for me, so I bought aggressively. I bought aggressively on the channel breakout. So, channel pullback siya, papunta sa 20-day moving average. Actually, undercutting the 20-day and then reclaims the 20-day. So, we bought the breakout but ended up selling at a loss. Selling at a loss. So, ang ginawa natin na error dito is we did not move our break-even stops. I failed to move my break-even stops. 2 break-even stops. So, another thing to look at this setup. So, it's a buy and pullback and I bought it when RSI is still below the RSI MA. So, I remember with my few journaling months, I remember napansin ko na when trading pullbacks and if RSI is still below the RSI MA, usually na-fade lang siya and nagko-consolidate na matagal. So, in this case, na-fade lang and then nag sideways. So that's Celestica. A losing trade and considering it also as a bad trade. So hindi naman ako perfect. Sometimes nagke-create din ng errors. But importante, manage yung risk for each trade. So next, KGC, a buy and pullback as well. Bought it June 25, sold July 2. So recent trade lang din siya. So, ang nakikita natin dito is a buy and pullback toward the 50-day moving average. Pullback toward the 50-day moving average. Undercutting the 20-day and recovering above the 20-day. So, in this case, ang ginawa natin, we bought this coil after the pullback or channel pullback breakout. So, entered on anticipation of the coil breakout. So, lower time frame, KCBB Eclipse, yung structure na nakita natin with KGC. So, pwede natin tignan yung lower time frame ni KGC. So, another thing, when you're looking at a pullback and it's approaching a key moving average, hanapan mo talaga ng lower time frame RSI bull div. Lower time frame RSI bull div and then a coil. Medyo mabagal lang talaga. Sorry. So, yan yung transaction trail natin. So, trade management notes ko, sold aggressively due to possible turn on gold prices. Possible turn on gold prices may affect the position. So, I sold on resistance. Supposedly, my sell was at 880 or $9 area. Yun talaga. Pero since I'm seeing some resistances or seeing some weakness in price action, nung nag-breakout, nagbenta na tayong kalahati. We sold half. And then sold all nung nag-close below the 10-day moving average and nag-close below this resistance level. Considering this as a bull trap. Consider this as a bull trap. So, sold all na ako dito. So, total PNL of 1.3K. Initial risk is at the $300 area to $500 area. So, kinuha ko na lang yung $500 area or $500 na risk unit. So, NVT. So, giving me this trade with a 2.6:1. So, NVT. So, same thing. A pullback buy at the 50-day. Buy on breakout, channel breakout, and then sold as soon as possible. So, quick trade lang din siya. So, ayun, realized gain is $700. So, may dollar risk for NVT since super speculative siya is a $250 cash at risk. So, giving me a 2.8:1 reward risk. So, initially planned to actively manage the trade, yun nga, as the stock is on a weak market group. So, on the way up, nung nakikita ko nag-resist na sa 1618 level from this measured target, nagbenta na ako. So, error ko dito, I did not sell on strength on the way up. So, what happened to me is napilitan ako to sell on weakness. Although, good thing na rin na hindi siya nag-move higher, but in hindsight, no, kahit na ganun, dapat since aggressive entry siya, it's on a weak market group, dapat actively tranching out ako on the way up. So another setup, PCG, another failed setup. So not all setups materialize. Alam mo yan, di ba? Mas madalas yung mali kaysa sa tama. Ang importante lang, pag mali ka, maliit lang, di ba? So PCG, 2-day trade lang, but yun, ended up with a loss as well. So same setup, channel breakout. So I entered in this area nung ni-reclaim yung 20-day moving average. So it was an aggressive entry. Stops ko slightly below this candle low in this area or this support level. So $500 risk, realized PNL of negative 504, giving me a negative 1 realized R unit. So PCG is a oil and gas name or a utilities name. So for me, it's a poor pick for an oil and gas name. So at the same time, if you're gonna look at PCG, medyo may bad decision lang ako nagawa dito. So it was hovering near resistance levels. So it's a bad idea to trade the pullback near resistance level. So nakaligtaan ko na I'm trading a pullback on a stock na not yet on a markup phase. That was my error for PCG. So for Oli, discuss ko na yan. It's a peg, undercut, and rally na setup. Next, VST. Also a buy and pullback play. Although it's an aggressive entry. So I bought this noong June 25. Sold June 27. So I bought aggressively on the pullback at the 50-day. So nag-pullback sa 50-day, created an intraday RSI bull div. Nung nag-create ng mini coil near the breakout of this anchored VWAP, doon ako nag-enter. So actually my entry or reason for entry was a breakout of the all-time high anchored VWAP. So I plotted an AVWAP dito sa all-time high level na yan. So we can see that AVWAP is still pointing downward. Still pointing downward pero binili ko pa rin. So I have a rule, Alvin. When buying breakouts of anchored VWAPs, dapat at least nagpa-flatline yung anchored VWAP. Tipong nagpa-flatline or much better if it's trending upward. So kunyari, right now VST is showing a good setup, no? So maybe I'm gonna rebuy VST. So right now it's breaking above the anchored VWAP. So pwedeng on retest at $90 area or $91 area. That's a setup na pwedeng i-trade for VST, intraday setup. But the idea is it's a big pullback toward the 50-day. So key learning for me on this trade, no? Since meron tayong slippage na malaki. So nabenta ko siya dito. Nabenta ko siya on this level. So nag-gap lower, I failed to sell outside regular trading hours. So it's a human error or mistake na nakomit ko. So I entered aggressively, and I should have sold next day when it got outright faded. So kita naman nung entry day ko. Nag-try mag-attempt mag-breakout pero na-fade. If ganyan, dapat prepared ka na to cut your losses kagad since it's a failed breakout. So I experienced that slippage. Key learning do not aggressively manage a trade. Do not passively manage a trade when entered aggressively. So what happened with my trade for VST is I passively managed the trade. Hindi ko na set yung orders ko ng tama. So those are the 9 trades, swing and momentum play, actually. So I hope na may natutunan ka dito, Alvin. Kasi end-to-end siya. Kasi ang reality, hindi ko naman mahirap kasi hindi sa mahirap kasi sa ibang program, tuturo lang yung setup, tapos yung end-to-end process, mahirap talaga siya eh. Yung paano mo i-handle yung trade. Diba tama?
Sir.
Paano mo i-set yung stops mo? How do you decide if mag-sell off ka ba? Etc. etc. Importante yung complete thought process. So, karamihan ng mga trades na yan came from my simple play finder. My simple play finder. So, karamihan dyan came from this PED play, came from the pullback at 50-day na play finder, and then this coils and bases na play finder. So, yan lang. As in, madaling process. Hindi naman madali, pero may flow na kasi ako dyan eh. May flow na ako. So, I have this play finder. I clear this. I-clear ko yan. So, kunyari, ito. Kunyari, punta tayo dito sa pullback at 50-day SMA. So, napakita ko na ata to sa'yo eh. Ginagawa ko, I just copy-paste this list. Copy. And then paste the list to this watch list. So, i-clear ko muna yan. Medyo bagal. And then, I add it. Ina-add ko siya sa watch list. Tapos, i-isa-isain ko siya. I look for setups. And then, set tayong alerts. So, how do you prioritize setups? Ito yung mahirap pa minsan eh. So, kunyari, parehas na setup. Ano yung pipiliin mo doon? Ano yung pipiliin mo? One thing, pwedeng i-consider mo yung theme. Yung theme. Ano ba yung theme ng dalawang stock? Kunyari, right now, same setup. Yung isang stock is on a strong market group. Nasa top 5, top 10 ng ating market groups. For me, dapat yun yung mas piliin mo. Kasi nandun siya sa magandang market group. Unlike dun sa isa na nasa subpar ng market group. So consider the sector as well, which is the fundamental aspect, which is a fundamental looking at it in the fundamental lens. So another thing is yung quality or yung magandang paano ko ba sabihin to? Yung structure. It actually depends on that kung paano mo i-compare yung dalawang structure. Kunwari, isa super choppy, tapos pag nag-enter ka, most likely masa-stop out ka lang. Pero yung isa super clean, talagang tight, super tight, tapos sandali mo mahanap yung stops mo. So, pipiliin mo na yung may mas magandang market structure. Tama? So, that's how you prioritize. That's one of the methods how you prioritize setups or trades. So, sector. Next, quality of entry and exits. Specifically, yung exits mo on stop loss. Pwede rin. You can prioritize it based on potential upside. So, kunyari, dalawang setup. Yung isang setup is giving you a 2-to-1, 3-to-1 reward risk. Pero yung isang setup giving you a potential 5-to-1, 6-to-1. Logically, ang pipiliin mo yung 5-to-1, 6-to-1 na setup. Diba? Or, eto ang ginagawa ko pa minsan, Alvin. Dalawang setup, undecided ako. Ang ginagawa ko, pipiliin ko yung dalawa. Kunyari, sabay silang nag-breakout. Sabay silang nag-materialize. Yung dalawa ko kunin ko. Pero lilitan ko yung risk ko for both. Kunyari, for one setup, ang allocation ko is 0.5% risk. Ang gagawin ko, 0.25 sa isa, 0.25 sa isa. Hahatiin ko. For the sake na kung ano yung mas stronger doon, at least captured ko yung dalawa. If yung isa mas stop out, isa mag-materialize, then okay. If dalawa, talo, then 0.5% risk lang din. Yun nawala. Gets mo? Gets mo yung approach? Magandang diskarte ba siya?
Gets ko, sir.
So, it's an art form. It's an art form. Kaya dapat when you have the time, always make chart studies para at least na-visualize mo paano mo iti-trade pag nakita mo na? Ano siya,
Oh,
constant
okay.
effort. Constant effort. Tsaka, I think, masaya siya gawin. Like, eto yung pag-audit ko. Actually, so, yung quarterly auditing kasi ako, nung past few days. So, dito, sa swing setup, sa pullback setups, sinegregate ko na lang on one of my portfolio, and then ito yung pinakita ko sa inyo. Pero kung makikita mo, super haba ng list na yan. More than 30 pages, 40 pages na chart studies yan. Actually meron naman na initially, pero mas maganda pa rin yung yung binabalik-balikan mo, puta, paano ka ba nagkamali? Ano ba yung pwede mong gawin na mas maganda? Very daunting, very taxing for some people. Pero it's a matter of practice para maging enjoyable siya. At saka stick with do things na uncomfortable. Do things na uncomfortable. Yung tipong, kunyari, dati, one of the most uncomfortable things for me are facing stupid losses. Yung mga losses na slippage ka, you fail to set your stops to break even, mga ganun. Dati inis na inis ako dun, pero the more na ihaharapin mo siya, face mo siya head on with journaling, mas nababawasan yung errors na ganun through time. For example, dati, 2022, 2023, parang in 10 trades, yung mga ganong klaseng mistakes na I forgot to set my break-even stops or to move my stops to break-even, for 10 trades na losses, 5 trades doon are those errors. So half. So the more na journal ako, mas nagle-lessen siya. Tipong 2 out of 10 trades na lang yung ganun, 1 out of 10. Right now, 1 out of 10 na lang yung nangyayaring ganun na errors. Since hinaharap mo yung errors na ganun. As uncomfortable as it may seem, or parang uh, something like ganun, na very uncomfortable task siya. Pero kailangan mo siyang harapin. Kailangan mo siyang harapin. Ayun. At the same time, daily screening din. Daily screening. And one of the things na hindi ko na-mention right now and super emphasize yung market environment. So when trading swing plays, only trade momentum and swing plays when your index, yung SPY mo, yung Qs, yung main index mo is above the 10 and 20-day moving average. So based on experience, Alvin, uh, best setups or high probability na magmaterialize yung swing and momentum setups when the index is above the 10 and 20-day moving average and configured na ganito, in which 10 is above the 20, 20 is above 50, 50 and 50 is above the 100. So pag ganyan, take advantage of it. Look for setups. It's the right time to put in the work and look for emerging setups. Pag ganyang environment. Pag ganito, na below the 20, below the 10, ano ko muna, much better you stay in cash, or you look for range trades, yung sinasabi ko sa'yo. You look for range trades. Diyan ka maghanap ng mga range trades. Yung pwede mong ichuchupit mo lang, tipong 2 to 1, 3 to 1, reward risk, pwede na rin yun. Pero for me, it's a high effort, low reward na nagawain. Okay?
Salamat sir, salamat sa advice.
Any other questions or concerns?
Wala naman sir.
Okay. So if you have the time, rewatch mo lang ng i-rewatch yung mga natin, playbooks natin. So the last playbook will be released on Tuesday or Wednesday next week. So recorded na lang din, and then Ano ulit tayo? Group coaching ulit tayo, no? Yung parang ganito, na may papakita tayong mga trade dissections, trade walkthroughs, and yung candid ano lang, no? Q&A. Kasi I think mas okay yun. Instead of yung complete full duration na mahabang session. Actually, may ginagawa akong project ngayon, yung tipong chino-chunk ko lang siya. So, for example, dito, ito. Yan. So, chino-chunk ko siya para mas madali siyang i-digest. Yung tipong swing play number 1, etc. etc. Then, ganyan, ano yung objective ng swing play. Ganun. So, i-upload natin yan sa site. Okay. All goods na tayo.
Okay, sir. Salamat.
So, maganda dyan, Alvin.
Okay,
Next.
sir. Wala naman akong question, sir. Wala naman akong question.
Okay, okay.
Na-gets ko na rin naman, sir, yung webinar.
Okay, okay. Nice. So, maganda dyan. Makapag-practice ka. Makapag-practice ka. Tipong, bigyan mo ng task yung sarili mo na 10 chart studies on this setup or 5 chart studies on this setup for the week. Or, pwede rin, much better, you execute a setup na you think na gusto mong execute. Tapos i-document mo. Document mo siya. Yung parang ginawa natin sa Evernote natin, yung may 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 notes, ano yung transaction trail, ano yung realized R unit, R multiple, days held, etc. etc. yung notes mo. So, much better na magawa mo siya and ma-put into practice mo. Okay? Sige, Alvin. Napapanood mo naman yung yung mga midweek situational awareness natin, yung mga weekly reviews, ganun.
Oo, sir.
Okay, okay. Sige, sige. So, ganun
Hindi lang
lang.
talaga ako, sir, hindi lang talaga ako, sir,
Maka-trade.
tapusin ko lang muna, sir, itong pinapatrabaho ko. Tapos,
Oo, tama
balik
lang.
na naman
Baka
tayo
kasi
dito.
baka mawala ka sa focus.
Oo,
Okay
sir.
lang yan. Tama lang yan. Take your time. No problem. Forever naman yung program natin. Hindi naman matatapos yan. Tipong, if may questions kayo, no problem. No problem. Tsaka,
No trade, sir, pero inaaral.
ano yan? Ano yan?
No trades ako, sir, pero inaaral ko yung mga learning materials sa website. Hindi naman ako nagpapabaya.
Oh, good, good, good. No problem, no problem. Ang importante lang naman talaga, magkaroon ka ng tamang exposure talaga. Tamang exposure na makapag-trade ka, ma maaral mo yung mga setups, no? Kahit ako every week nag-aaral pa rin ako ng setups eh. Like I review my trades tapos I still review some missed trades like yung pinakita ko kanina eh, Avgo, it's a missed trade. Iren is also a missed trade. So, mga ganun. Nandun talaga eh. Nandun yung dun mo makukuha yung bunga. Dun mo makukuha yung yung results. Once na weekly, daily mo siyang gagawin na routine. Like, kahit simpleng tignan mo yung market, ano yung ginagawa ng S&P 500, ano yung ginagawa ng, kunyari, you're trading crypto, ano yung ginawa ng BTC recently. Ano ba yung mga setups na nakita mo na missed out mo or ano ba yung emerging setups right now? Yung ganun. As in day in, day out effort. Okay. So, I hope na fruitful naman yung mga playbooks natin. Clear naman lahat. Do you think na it's gonna be applicable sa'yo? Yung mga setups natin? Or may mga questions pa at hand? Like yung mga may doubts ka pa, ganun.
Wala naman, sir.
Okay, okay. No problem with doubting a setup. Kasi yung setup na pinresent ko, syempre, um, select few charts lang naman yung pinakita natin eh. Not totally yung mga failed setups, ganun. Pero consider mo na lang yung mga setups na yun as uh, may 40% win rate. Ganun. 40% of the time lang siyang tama or 4 out of 10 times lang siya tama. Yung importante doon yung mga concepts, how you sell, how you enter, how you manage your risk, yung importansya ng market environment, and yung risk management. Nandun talaga. Nandun. Okay. Sige. Thank you, Alvin. That ends our
Okay, sir.
accelerator session and coaching session. Thank you for being present and thank you for making time and putting in the work. So, congrats sa'yo. Commend. Sige. Thank you, Alvin. God bless and good
Salamat, sir.
night. Bye-bye.
Salamat. Good night. Good night.
Good night. Bye.